All right, welcome everyone to a live look at LeClue, Detectivú. So this is a little, it's not a point-and-click adventure game, but it's like a side-scroller detective mystery game. It's very cute, very funny. And I want to share it with y'all. We control most of it with a keyboard. The game's fittingly spooky and autumn-ish, so I thought it'd be appropriate for the Halloween season. Gotta be creepy. I was expecting more of a rock before the murderer crows, but okay. Hang on, let's turn the game down. Alright. Just a little bit. Why would you set this as your transceiver? This would just be a pain. Make it hard to do your job. Chomp. Oh, did eat him. Goodbye, sir. And when he woke up...
What? Who? Oh, I must have dozed off. Perhaps we need a spot of tea to wake us up. What do you say, Rufus?
Yes, you moron.
Quite right. Better get back to work. This book won't write itself. Maybe I should start somewhere easier. I'll come back to the prologue later. The sun rose over another perfect day in picturesque Arthurton.
For the record, I set the game to
the casual
progress
observer,
automatically.
Arthurton seemed like any other small, quiet town.
The dialogue, rather.
It was nestled in a valley between two mountains, lined by lustrous forests. and perched on the edge of a pristine lake.
My face is on it. That's how you know it's
It
good.
had a main street with all the essentials, including a place to sip coffee.
A place
It
to
had
sip
schools,
steak.
a college, a church, and a police station. It even had a museum no one ever visited. It was the
Agatha
kind of place
Christie's.
you might find anywhere on your travels. Typical, maybe even forgettable. But there was one thing in Arthurton that was unlike any other town in the whole world. Actually, it was a girl. Her name was Jenny LeClue.
There she
And
is.
she was the world's greatest detective.
She didn't have a phone.
Finkelstein residence. Oh, hello, Glenda. Yes, he said he might ring. Okay, patch me through then.
I love her introduction to Jenny as her flossing her tooth. Just the one.
Richard? Yes, I got it. I did, and my answer is no. I understand that, but... Well, yes, of course, but... No. Nothing is settled. I'm not going to do it. It goes against everything my books stand for. No, not yet, but... If I could just... Please, listen to what I'm saying.
World's greatest detective. The end. Get off. Ball. Yes. I think the secret here is Mr. Finkelstein is actually haunted. I'm not a murderer. Okay, so if you don't feel like reading the whole thing, which might be a little difficult to do, even though I'm streaming this at 1080p. So Jenny LeClue, the game is actually, it's two stories in one. You play Jenny LeClue eventually, but you also play the author of her books. In universe, she's a children's story character, like on a box. I didn't read I didn't read any of those as a kid, so I can't give you any comparisons. Hardy Boys, that's one name I know. Stuff like that. And the author is at a unfortunate crossroads because his stuff is so saccharine and safe that people just aren't buying it anymore. Jenny LeClue has been an active franchise for dozens of books now, and people just aren't interested anymore because it's so safe. And now Mr. Richard Inkwell has called up and said, you need to step it up and kill someone or your series is canceled. And our author just does not want to do that. Wouldn't know a good story if you bit you on the rump. Why am I imitating a cat? Well, I've had one long enough. Letter to Finkel fans. His name is Arthur. He did just name it after himself. Nancy Drew, that... There were names right on the tip of my brain that were more accurate. Oh, and this here, the game was kickstarted. This is just a list of all the Kickstarters. Which is cute. Also, a more recent update for the game, July 24th, introduced the voice acting. And it's very good voice acting.
You don't understand what you're asking for. You want me to turn Jenny's world upside down? Kill off my characters and destroy everything I've built over the last 30 years? Fine. I'll give you what you want. But I warn you, I'm a stream of consciousness writer, and you have unleashed my fury. Good day, sir. Boring? Predictable? Bah! Well, if it's murder they want, it's murder they'll get.
This is what I'm going to do to Inkwell books. I'll commit a real murder.
It should have been another perfect day in Arthurton. But today was different. And nothing would ever be the same again. To begin with, Jenny LeClue was dead. Her skin was pale, her eyes glassy and frozen.
Her shoes
What
too
cruel
big.
fate had befallen our beloved detective?
She tripped.
No, no, no. Never move the victim.
Mrs. LeClue, she's doing it again.
Jenny LeClue,
You are a dead body. Dead bodies don't talk.
Teaches dumb students. Terrible cook, great mom.
but he's doing it wrong.
As wonderful as it would be if all cadavers were so talkative, we must deduce the cause of death without their help. With only the evidence laid before us, we build a picture from the fragments left behind. We collect clues, interpret the data, and solve our puzzle one piece at a time, until it feels as if the victim is speaking to us. But Jenny is right, Jonathan. You mustn't disturb the crime scene. Vital evidence could be lost.
Sorry, Mrs. LeClue.
Okay, you've all had a chance to study the body? Who can postulate how she met her demise?
Ooh, me. I think it was an accident.
Yeah, she obviously wasn't looking where she was going
So she slipped on the wet floor,
and cracked her head open. Like an egg.
and then she bled to death.
Really? How can you tell?
Well, there's a giant pool of blood around her head.
Yeah, I know. I was being sarcastic.
Oh.
You're bad at it.
Actually, you're both wrong.
What?
It was cold-blooded murder. Murder?
Don't be ridiculous.
Where's the murder weapon?
There's no evidence anyone else was even here.
Oh, yes, there is. It was murder, and I can prove it.
Time for a tutorial.
Jenny had read all the books. She'd absorbed all her mother's teachings. But there was nothing quite like getting your hands dirty.
How many people get the chance to solve their own murder?
The first step in any good deduction was collecting evidence. Seemingly insignificant details could provide a vital piece of the puzzle.
First, I'll search the crime scene for clues.
Then she'd
I'll do it
analyze
with
the
my
data.
nose.
And finally,
Deduce the real cause of death.
So here's where the detective part comes in. At occasional points,
Jenny's blue sweater was scruffy.
Okay,
and
fine, you
quite
talk.
uncomfortable. But her grandmother had knitted it, and so it was her favorite.
aw,
The more it itched, the closer she felt to her.
her grandmother also made her itch. So occasionally we'll be given just an image of a scene, and we'll be able to scroll around and find any little detail we can find. And by the end of it, we won't need all of the clues that it gives us, but we'll be able to tell from the clues that we've got which of those connect, and then we'll actually solve the the case from there.
The floor is wet and slippery, but also immaculately clean.
My boots are that good.
Approximately 8 sizes too big, and covered in mud. The victim has a green smudge on her lips. It's not lipstick.
Lovely green stuff.
Without her trusty bifocals, Jenny couldn't see the nose in front of her face. They were her window to the world, and the lens through which she focused her keen detective vision.
I mean, have you looked at your own nose? It's kind of blurry already.
It wasn't Jenny's style to wear accessories, but this hair clip was the exception. Its function as a lockpick had saved Jenny from a long night trapped in her school locker. She'd worn it ever since.
There's a story I'd like to learn.
What a waste of perfectly good coffee.
Jenny's love for coffee was almost as strong as her passion for crime solving.
Chalky green residue on the rim. Smells like burnt matches.
But that's just the coffee. The ends justify the beans. The amount of murders that have been committed at that place.
There's no doubt the victim lost a lot of blood. I've seen enough. Time to wrap this case up.
Jenny was a meticulous record keeper, noting every relevant clue in her trusty journal. A great detective knew that solving a mystery was simply a matter of connecting the dots.
I'm certain this wasn't a mere accident. Now I just need to prove it. How do I know the victim didn't slip?
Oh, we gotta hold it. I like this. We're seeing her thought process.
The victim's boots are filthy. They should have left big muddy footprints on the floor. So where are they?
Yeah, but their violence is a little more effective after they've had their coffee.
Either someone washed away her footprints, or she was carried here. Okay, that proves she didn't slip. So how did she actually die? What was the real cause of death?
She licked the wet floor.
There's a green residue in the bottom of the victim's coffee cup. It smells of burnt matches. Phosphorus. Also found in common garden fertilizer. The same green mark is on the victim's lips. Her coffee was spiked with fertilizer. Someone clearly wanted her dead. Ah, the case of the dead lab assistant. Gone before her time. Was it poison? Yes. A blow to the head? Yes. An accident? Certainly not. No footprints in an unshattered mug? She was killed somewhere else and carried here. This is the story of a scorned ex-lover.
Jenny?
The gardener enacting his revenge.
Jenny!
A deadly brew of fertilizer and caffeine coursing through the veins.
That's quite enough, thank you.
What happens to the gardener?
Is this gonna be on the test?
Remember, class, even the smartest criminals make mistakes. This is how we catch a killer.
But what's the point of all this?
Yeah, there hasn't been a murder in Arthurton in years.
Every town has a dark side, even Arthurton. By doubting, we are led to question. And by questioning, we arrive at the truth. Okay, that's all for today. Don't forget, next class is our field trip to the morgue. So have a light lunch. The students
forget
need to
to
think
eat
for
if you want.
themselves, Jenny.
We won't be there long.
That's why they're here at Gumboldt. To learn.
I just figured we all had places to go. Speaking of which,
And where are you off to, young lady?
I'm a dead body mom, remember? Dead bodies don't tell. See ya.
Wait, before you go, I have something for you.
Cool. What is it?
If I told you, that would spoil the fun, wouldn't it?
The LeClues didn't simply hand each other presents. They hid them. It was a family tradition, and Jenny had developed a sixth sense for finding them. With her trusty magnifying glass at her side, nothing eluded her.
Eye explosion.
A new journal!
To Jenny, there was nothing better than the aroma of a fresh leather notebook. It smelled like mystery. Without missing a beat, she did what any detective worth their salt would do. She decorated it.
Hell yeah. Going right up top. So we get stickers throughout the game and we can attach them to the cover. I don't think I'll be playing the entire game. I mostly wanted to show it off in time for Halloween.
A new journal meant new adventures. She imagined all the thrilling cases that would soon fill its pages. And on the first page, her mother had written an inscription.
A great detective never gives up. Love, Mom.
Find a map. I know we're gonna need it. Okay, so as we make choices throughout the game, Jenny will change from CEO to something else. CEO is sort of in the middle, I think. There are also collectibles. Along with the stickers that we can put on the cover, there are postcards throughout the game. Postcards that have been torn up, and if you can find all the pieces, you can see the complete thing, and there's a message on the back.
I love it. Thanks, Mom.
Jenny, I wanted to talk about, to say,
Somewhere in the back of Jenny's highly caffeinated brain, an alarm bell was ringing.
That's the
Her
default.
mum was hesitating. What could be causing her to act so out of character?
Crossed arms. Furrowed brow.
Jenny saw it coming from a mile away. Her mother was about to get
Emotional. I've really gotta go.
no, Jenny, wait. I need your help.
What? Really?
Jenny couldn't believe her ears. It was extremely unusual for her mother to ask for help. It must be something very important. Tracing the steps of a deranged killer? A cold case that only someone with Jenny's expertise could solve?
I've misplaced the students' essays on decapitation. See if you can find them for me before you leave. I have to run.
Wow. The case of the misplaced papers. Are you sure you want to trust me with such a complex task?
I have no doubt
After the
you'll be able to
marmalade
find them.
sandwich,
They're around here somewhere.
that one really took it out of
Jenny
me.
was unsure if her mother was unable to detect sarcasm or just really good at ignoring it.
She's a mom, she's ignoring it. Fucking feel like it.
What's the point? They're all gonna fail anyway.
A
Yikes.
great detective learns the most valuable lessons from their biggest failures.
I really can't, Mom. I've got somewhere to be. People are depending on me.
I have somewhere to be too, and I'm depending on you to find those papers.
Have you considered how these menial chores might be affecting my sense of self-worth? Is this really the act of a responsible mother?
Jenny LeClue.
That was her mother's code for enough is enough.
Fine. I'll find them.
Good. Find the papers and go straight home.
But I'm meeting Keith tonight.
No buts, remember?
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe I'm still feeling the effects of being poisoned for your class.
Well then, I have the perfect antidote. You're staying with your cousin this weekend, and you still need to pack.
This again? Look, I've considered your offer, Mom, and I'm going to have to decline. I'm old enough to take care of myself.
I'll be back late tonight. There's meatloaf in the fridge.
He's visiting.
So you don't trust me to take care of myself this weekend, but you do trust me to fix dinner and not burn the house down?
Jenny LeClue, it's been a difficult week. Could you please just do what you're told for once and stop asking questions?
Fine.
And try to stay out of trouble.
When do I ever get into trouble?
I was born without this tooth.
All right, let's find these papers and get out of here.
What happened to her giant boots? They've shrunk into nothing.
One of Jenny's earliest memories was making raspberry jam with her mum.
It's the perfect substitute for blood in class demonstrations. And better tasting than the pig's blood the textbook recommends.
Oh, she was just wearing them for the demonstration. Fair enough. Look at that strut. These boots are not meant for walking.
Looking rather trim today, Ethan. New diet? What's the matter? Lost your funny bone?
I think my favorite thing about this game is how much of a shit Jenny is. Like, she's such a smart-ass little... I don't think she's a teenager yet. I think she's like 12. Maybe 13. But she's definitely a know-it-all.
Please do not touch.
But she's also really funny.
Someone must be running an experiment. Gross. Pretty soon it's gonna sprout legs.
Becoming a great detective took more than book smarts. You needed real-life experience. And Jenny was always on the lookout for a chance to get her hands dirty.
New deal. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. Yeah, tween.
It's one of the students' term papers. You can tell by the terrible handwriting and erroneous conclusions. Mom must have put them behind the chalkboard. Found you. Time to get out of here.
Jenny looked around the room one last time. Was she ready to leave?
Could she handle it? She was not
Jenny
ready.
looked around the room one last time. Was she ready to leave?
It helps that she's a kid. And she's also very likable.
Okay, so she wasn't really dead. That would be silly. No, Jenny was alive and well and ready for another perfect day in Arthurton.
If only my glasses worked better.
What the? What a mess. I should investigate.
See, like jack-o'-lanterns. Perfect for Halloween. There we
Jenny
go.
had an instinct for sorting treasure from trash. To the untrained eye, this was just a discarded piece of an old postcard. But to Jenny, it was a mystery waiting to be solved.
I should keep my eyes open for any other pieces.
Yeah, that's one of the pieces of the postcards.
The notice board was awash with flyers, personal ads, and the occasional piece of gum.
I'm amazed anyone can find anything on here.
Fortunately, Jenny had a useful trick to use in a situation like this.
Mom always says, a great detective eliminates the noise. Focus on the details, and you'll find clarity in the chaos.
Lightly chewed.
I wonder if anyone else reads this junk. Hold on. What's this? Oh no, they've extended curfew hours again. 9 p.m. to sunrise? That's ridiculous.
But necessary. Power outages had become a regular occurrence in town. It was dangerous to be wandering around after dark.
It won't be long before we need a permit to go out at all.
Look at that guy down there. Very engrossed in that book.
Hey, you!
Oh, hi there.
What are you doing back there?
Well, I was pruning, but then I discovered the cerulean bugberry bush.
Discovered? These bushes are all over Arthurton.
Actually, this is an incredibly rare bloom.
There's nothing rare about Arthurton.
I beg to differ. Arthurton has many beautiful and exotic plants.
Me, for example. Couldn't give a fuck.
Looks like a regular old bush to me.
Wow. Some people just don't appreciate the wonders right in front of them. I guess that's why I'm one of the lucky few working in Dean Strasberry's greenhouse. Anyway, I should get back to work. I want everything to be perfect for the Dean's retirement celebration.
For the record, I am picking all of the asshole options. Feels most true to Jenny. Right. We do love you, Dean Strasberry. Whoever the hell you are.
Signs and decorations adorned the entire campus.
A party to celebrate the Dean's impending retirement.
More like impending doom.
Left. Left. I said left, damn it! What part of left are you having trouble with?
My left or your left?
My left. Obviously, I mean my left. Why would I mean your left?
So you want me to move it the other way?
Yes, nothing would make me happier. If you're not careful, we're gonna have Braun's brains all over the floor.
They seem busy. I should probably lead them to it.
There the hell he is.
Hello, Mr. Strasberry. How are you today?
Everyone's surrogate
A
uncle.
jolly gentleman. The Dean was often seen shaking hands and kissing babies around town.
He's also Mom's boss.
But more than that, he was her loyal friend.
What do you think, Jenny?
The Dean had dedicated his life to Gumboldt, and the townspeople had spared no expense in their tribute to him.
Much
Quite
like
a
Jurassic
striking
Park.
resemblance, Mr. Strasberry.
It's a scary thing, Jenny. Retirement.
Great excuse for a party, though. What will you do when you're no longer the Dean?
I've been trying not to think about it.
This place won't be the same without you.
Things change, Jenny. Time marches on, and we must do our best to adapt. It's going to be difficult, but I'm sure we will get through it.
What do you mean, we?
Do you think they made my belly too big?
I mean, me and the statue.
It might be all those bronze pancakes, Mr. Strasberry.
No legacy is so rich as honesty. You are a clever one, Jenny LeClue. Speaking of which, have you been practicing your detective skills?
Have I? Of course, always.
Well then, I have a challenge for you. I bet you can't guess what I ate for breakfast.
At last, a real challenge for Jenny. A fiendishly difficult puzzle that would take all her wits to solve.
To be honest, I'm in a bit of a hurry.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I just have to be somewhere.
Of course. I understand.
What? No, that's not right. Jenny would never turn down an opportunity to flex her intellectual muscles. So she did what the dean asked.
Fine. Anything for you, Mr. Strasberry.
Oh, how wonderful.
But first, I need to ask you a few questions.
Where were you last night? So I like this. Occasionally, the author and Jenny, will clash somewhat. The author clearly wants things to go a certain way, and Jenny, he's writing, I don't know, that's stream of consciousness. So basically, the characters exist as real people in a way, so sometimes she just does not want to do what the author wants her to do.
It can't be dandruff. He has no hair. I have a hunch it's powdered sugar.
He has a mustache and eyebrows. I can speak from an unfortunate experience. You can get dandruff in both.
The dean was a big fan of the Gumboldt moonbeams. And not just because his son was a prominent figure on the team.
Well, a bench warmer anyway.
Prominently warming the bench. Look at his face. He has a nice face.
Looks like he accidentally put a spoon in his pocket instead of his pen. It's got a coffee stain on it.
A thick bundle of note cards poked out of the dean's pocket.
What's he keeping so close to his chest? You've been making a lot of notes, Mr. Strasberry.
Oh, I was intending to make a speech on Saturday.
Why have you scratched out so much of it?
Your mother suggested I keep it short. And quite right, too. I must have rewritten it 20 times by now. I just can't seem to find the right words.
I'd like to find the right sound effect for whatever the hell that was. Salty? Sweet! I can't do Donald Duck.
The dean didn't button his shirt properly. It looks like a bloodstain, but the seeds indicate otherwise.
Raspberry.
His watch is slow. That's unlike the dean. He's usually very punctual. Your watch is 45 minutes slow.
Is it? Oh my. That explains why there was no cheesecake left in the cafeteria. My head's not screwed on today. Thank goodness you noticed, or I'd be late for my meeting with your mother.
Oh, really? She didn't mention anything to me.
Oh, well, of course she wouldn't. It's nothing important.
Why are you meeting then?
It's just, she's helping me finalize my plans for,
An affair before I retire. I
Your
mean,
party?
Yes, that's it. My retirement party. Thank you.
Are you
Just
okay,
me and your
Mr.
mom.
Strasberry?
Of course. Now let me just fix my watch before I forget.
they
Now,
banging Jenny.
Where were we?
Shiny.
Ipsa scientia potestas est. Looks like Latin. Your ring sure looks old.
It was made for my grandfather. He passed it down to my father, who passed it down to me. And when the time comes, I'll pass it on to my son.
The Strawsbury family had been champions of education for generations.
What does the inscription mean?
Knowledge itself is power. The inquisitive spirit is a mighty thing, Jenny. And nothing is as important as the truth.
And a living mustache.
For the Dean, being covered in plant life was not unusual. His work as a botanist was renowned.
Looks like you're carrying some extra baggage today, Mr. Strasberry.
Well, I do have a lot on my mind.
I was referring to your legs.
Oh, thank you. I have been doing my daily calisthenics.
No, I mean the sticky stuff on your pants.
What? Oh! Hitchhikers. I've been working on a new orchid hybrid in my greenhouse. They're beautiful, but the leaves are quite clingy. I will say, I am looking forward to spending more time in the dirt. So, what do you think, Jenny? Can you guess what I had for breakfast?
Sure, Mr. Strasberry. I've got everything I need to solve this mystery. What did the Dean eat for breakfast?
One of these I need to purposefully get wrong to show that looks like.
Jam on his shirt and powdered sugar on his tie. The evidence points strongly to the Dean's breakfast consisting of 1, maybe 2 donuts. What else can I tell about the Dean's morning? That doesn't quite add up. Let me give this some more thought.
Dean's ring is gaudy.
The Dean had neglected to wind his pocket watch. The act of a distracted man. This resulted in his whole routine being thrown off. Which might explain why he has a spoon in his pocket instead of a pen. You had a donut for breakfast.
Yes?
I'm guessing... raspberry.
How did you know?
That part was easy. You always have donuts for breakfast. But something else caught my attention.
Oh?
I think you have something on your mind, Mr. Strasberry. You are usually a picture of precision and punctuality. But today, there's a spoon in your pocket and your shirt button is undone.
My. You really are a LeClue. Your father would be so proud.
Thanks. Well, I should be going. I'm meeting your son by the lake.
And I'm meeting your mother in the library. What a small world this is.
Too small.
A perfectly small world with everything in its right place.
Who would want to change that?
Pardon?
Nothing. See you on Saturday.
Oh, yes. Until we meet again, Jenny LeClue.
Weird placement for phone boxes.
Well, that's not creepy at all.
In her short time as a detective, Jenny had learned never to ignore a ringing phone.
Well, I'm going to.
Hey!
Ah! Damn, that's the third time today.
Oops.
Hi, Jenny. Great job solving that case today. It's really cute the way that you and your mom work together. I wish I was that close with my parents.
Enough chit-chat. Got anything new for me?
Oh, yes.
That
This
dude in the
is
back
real deal, hot off the press.
posing
I
for
haven't
us.
had a chance to distribute these yet, so keep them to yourself.
Ada and Jenny belonged to one of the oldest societies in Arthurton. An eclectic band of treasure hunters, collectors, creators, and dealers. Together, they were known as Sticker Club. For generations, Gumboldt students had been hiding and finding stickers all over town. Officially, Jenny was too young to join. But she'd found so many stickers on her own that they'd made her an honorary member.
So yep, the stickers are a part of the world, not just a little thing that Jenny does.
Let's see.
Stickers, the hardest of
Edges,
drugs.
Rich colors. Very tacky.
Thanks. I spent all week making these.
If only you spend as much time in your schoolwork, you might not be failing my mom's class.
Jenny thought to herself.
To celebrate the dean's retirement. I'm super sad that he's leaving, but
It's a perfect reason to make new stickers.
exactly. Oh, we're going on an epic sticker hunt before the dean's party. You should join us.
Even if Jenny had wanted to join them,
And I don't.
she knew she'd be stuck with her cousin all weekend.
Jenny the fuck.
Thanks, but I work alone.
Oh, okay. See you around, Jenny.
Yep, she's pretty hilarious, but also a total shit.
Hello?
The dog barks loudest before the dawn.
What? CJ, is that you?
The dog barks loudest before the dawn.
Really? This again? It's me, Jenny. We don't need to do this.
I have no idea who you are, and I know no one by that name. The dog barks loudest before the dawn.
Fine. The early bird can't catch the lazy worm.
Good. The wind blows strongly from the east.
People in glass houses should invest in curtains.
Excellent. The evening sky is full of fireflies.
The last donut is the tastiest.
Ah! Jenny, it is you!
Of course it is!
I need to meet with you right away.
Okay. Where do you want to meet?
This place will do.
Everyone in town knew that CJ was mad, even dangerous.
He's not dangerous. He just doesn't accept things at face value. Sure, he's a bit fixated on extraterrestrials, but at least he's passionate about something.
CJ and
I'm
Jenny
sure that's just a
certainly
metaphor for
indulged
his
each other's
racism, but still.
obsessions. But most of all, CJ treated Jenny like a colleague.
And not a little kid. CJ, why did we go through all that if you're right here?
Can't be too careful. Are you sure you weren't followed?
Who would be following me?
Shh.
Pedophiles are everywhere.
We don't have long to talk. Now, what did you want to talk to me about?
What? You called me.
Did I? Why?
Talking to CJ was a bit like navigating a maze. You had a rough idea of where you were headed, but you couldn't be sure you'd ever get there.
I'll help you figure it out.
The guy does a very good Doc Brown impression.
hiding something. A compass with strange symbols where the cardinal direction should be. Looks broken. Where did you get that compass?
Ah, you spotted it. I knew you would. It belonged to my father. He left it to me to find the truth.
You're not gonna find anything with that. The needle is wandering all over the place. A bit like you.
It's searching
For what?
for them. It's this town, Jenny. It's Arthurton. They're here, among us, and this proves it.
Or it could just be broken.
Could be. I guess we'll never know.
Is it your birthday, CJ?
Birthday? Whose birthday? Kingston's birthday. But Kingston died on his birthday. Assassination? Possibly. Abduction? Almost certainly.
CJ, the card?
Oh, this. It's for you. Impossible shot. Died instantly. No suspects. No human suspects, anyway.
Thanks, CJ.
Thanks, CJ. That's, thoughtful. I didn't think you'd remember.
I know what it's like to lose something important to you. Now triple shred and incinerate that card as soon as possible! It's got my fingerprints all over it!
And my saliva. I thought it was a letter.
What's that sticking out of your sock?
Ah! That's what I wanted to talk to you about. I intercepted a secret message. Classified intel. It's proof, Jenny. It's happening again. It's time for us to join the fight.
This doesn't look like the kind of pamphlet he usually makes. It's been professionally printed.
Could CJ finally be onto something?
Oh, it's just part of a cereal box.
A cereal box from another space-time continuum?
Nope, just a regular cereal box. It's an ad for a toy.
But why? Why would it just be lying there in the trash?
I'm sorry, CJ. There are still great mysteries out there to solve, but this isn't one of them. So what's the plan now?
Library. Research. Very important. Very hush-hush.
They let you back in?
Not yet. But I've got this hat now.
It wasn't your head that needed covering.
No, for disguise.
I know, CJ. What is it this time? More UFOs? Radio wave mind control? A globally connected communication network used exclusively to view pictures of cats?
Jenny, you sound crazy. I'm just preparing my defense for the hearing.
Is this because you tried to hypnotize Mrs. Brown's prize poodle?
No, that was last week. It's because I peed in the water tower.
CJ, that's gross.
And this is the thanks I get for saving everyone from the mind control chemicals?
Well, I guess I'll see you later then.
But CJ was gone.
CJ, I know you're standing behind the phone booth. I just watched you walk over there.
No, I'm not.
Okay then, bye.
See you later.
You're my only friend.
Lake Nowhere, 1 mile.
Stop! Perfect. Hold it right there. Okay, let her go.
Oh dear.
That was ominous.
Look into your own eyes.
Detective for hire. Jenny had saved up the whole summer to place an ad in the local paper, but no one had answered it. Until now. What could this new case be? Her imagination ran wild, picturing the possibilities. And so, after helping her mum at Gumboldt College, she hurried to the pier at Lake Nowhere to rendezvous with her new client and crack another thrilling case.